Hey, welcome to another week of Orange Baptist Church Virtual Children's Sunday School. I have my special guest, Sarah, here today, and she's going to help us play a little game before we get to our lesson. I'm wondering how many of you have played the game Rock, Paper, Scissors. This is a fun game. You can do it anywhere, and sometimes you can do it just for fun, but you can also, if you're trying to decide who gets to go first, sometimes you can do that to figure it out. So this is how it works. You're going to take your hand and you're going to make a platform like this. And then you take your other hand and you're either going to choose rock, paper, or scissors. And I'll say rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And when I say shoot, you choose one of those things and you put it on your hand, okay? So Sarah and I are going to show you how it goes. We're going to do it 3 times, and whoever wins the most rounds out of 3 times wins. All right, so here we go. You ready, Sarah? Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Now, she was a rock. Rock beats scissors. So she went boom. So she wins that round. I forgot to tell you that rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, and paper beats rock. So let's try again. You ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. We got the same, so we're gonna do it. That one didn't count, so we'll do it again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, so I'm paper and she's rock. So I win that time. All right, she's won 1, I won 1. Whoever wins the next round wins. Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, it didn't count because we got the same thing. Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I won! Yay! Thanks for playing, Sarah. So I hope you had fun doing that game. So what I have with me today is I have a rock, I have some paper, and I have some scissors. If I were wanting to write a letter, a rock or scissors wouldn't come in handy very much, but paper would, right? And if I wanted to cut something, a rock and a paper wouldn't do a very good job, but scissors would, right? And if I was thirsty, the paper and the scissors wouldn't do a very good job, but the rock would, right? What? Wait a minute. Yes, the rock would. Well, actually, not now, but in our Bible story, the rock helped people when they were thirsty. So our Bible story today comes out of the book of Exodus, chapter 17, verses 1 through 17. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a background history. I think you remember Moses from our previous lessons. He was the one that got sailed down the river and found by the Pharaoh. Well, when Moses was a lot older, if you remember, God had a really incredible plan for him. And his plan was to save the Israelites from slavery. And God fulfilled his promise. He told Moses to take the Israelites out of slavery and he was going to take them to the promised land. Well, on the way, they were walking through a desert. Now I'm thinking about a desert, and what I know about a desert is it's hot, really, really hot, and it's dry. And they've been walking for miles and miles, and they're tired and they're sweaty, and guess what? They're thirsty. I wonder how you feel when you're extra, extra thirsty. I know when I'm really, really thirsty and I don't have any water, I start to get really uncomfortable, and then I might get a little grumpy. Well, that's exactly what happened to the Israelites. They started to get grumpy and they started to complain because it made them not feel good. They might have been dizzy. And so they said, Moses, where's this great God you have? And Moses went to God and he said, they're thirsty. What are we going to do? We're in the middle of the desert. And God told him to take his staff, which is like a long stick that you walk with, and he took his staff and he said, take your staff and go hit a rock. And guess what happened when Moses hit the rock? Water started to pour out of it. So much so that all the Israelites could get the water that they needed when they were thirsty. Why do you think God would put such a funny story like that in the Bible? Why is that important for us? Well, do you know what I think? I think it's important to hear that story because water coming from a rock, that doesn't happen now, does it? But when it happened with them, it was a miracle. It was impossible. So God made the impossible possible. That's how cool he is. And he does that for us all the time. And so I want you to remember that God is a God of the impossible. And he can always help us when we have needs. And so if you have a need, I want you to pray to God to help you because that's what he's there for. He's there to help you and he will always be there for you. All right. I hope you enjoyed our lesson this week and I will see you next week. Bye-bye. Okay, so for our craft this week, we're gonna paint rocks and we're gonna paint them so that they're encouragements for others. Maybe you've done this before. I've noticed when I walk through town sometimes I'll look down and somebody has left a little rock with a little message on it for someone to find and be encouraged with. So that's what we're gonna do. So what you need for this is you need a rock, which I still have my rock from my lesson. You need a paintbrush and you need some paint. I have some acrylic paint, but I think you could really use whatever kind of paint you have. So really and truly, you just want to think of something really nice to say to someone that would encourage them. So you could say something like, you are special, or God loves you, or you're amazing. So think of something that if you found that message, you would want to hear that, and that would make you feel good. So I think for my message today, I'm going to do God loves you. So basically, you get to paint the rock with whatever you want to. So I'm just going to make mine pretty because I like making things pretty, but you could do something really cool and put like a robot on it or a dinosaur, or do whatever you want to make it your personality. So here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do, I want my background color to be green. So I'm going to squirt some paint on there. And this, I want the whole background to be this color. So I'm just going to squirt it on there and paint my rock to be completely covered with this color. Needs a little bit more. Now the thing about this craft is you kind of have to work a little and then let it dry and then do a little bit more. So you kind of could do it in stages. So I've got my base color on and I want that to dry before I do the next thing because I don't want the colors to blend. So I'm going to walk away and I'm going to dry it. Now if you want to do it in one sitting and you don't want to wait, you could always take your blow dryer and have your mom or dad or an adult that's doing it with you blow dry the rock. All right, so there's my background color. Okay, so now I want to write on my rock, and I'm using kind of a smaller paintbrush this time because my big brush I think will make my letters too big. So let's see, I think I want to make my letters pink. So actually I'm gonna do them purple, or lavender I should say. I'm going to squirt some on the paper here and position my rock, dip my brush, and I'm going to do a capital G because it's God, and we always capitalize names. So we've got G. Do you know how to spell God? G, 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 O, D, D. You might find after it dries that you want to kind of go over it a second time to make it nice and bold, because sometimes it is too thin. You can, so there we go. Got the word God. Now, this part will be fun. I'm going to make my love, instead of writing the word love, I'm going to use my pink, there's my pink, and I'm going to do a heart for love, because hearts are a symbol of love. And I'm going to fill it in. Now, if I leave it like this, it'll be like God, heart, you. But I want it to be God loves you. So, next to my heart, I'm going to do something kind of funny. I'm going to do an apostrophe and an S. He loves. And then I'm going to go back to my purple. And you is Y, O, U. That's one of those funny words that you can't really sound out. So you just have to know how to spell it. Y-O-U spells you. All right, and there you go. Now I could, if I want, I could go back around and I could add like polka dots or zigzags or whatever you want to do to make it look fun and bright. And just think, whoever finds this is going to be so encouraged that God loves them. I'm wondering where I'll put it. Maybe you'll find it in town. I'll have to find a fun place for you to look and see if you see it. All right. I hope you enjoy painting your rocks and encouraging somebody. Bye-bye.